I want to hear y'all say, seal the deal.
Seal the deal!
Seal the deal.
And what one woman is not willing to accept, another woman is there with her hands out waiting for crumbs. That's exactly the situation that reminds me of this whole Nelly and Ashanti relationship, right? He was with that other woman for nearly a decade, and she went on that show and she said, I don't want to be just a baby mama. I want to be a wife. Like, I want it to be love, marriage, baby, and in that order.
I don't think that a person can just realize that person was the person that they really love.
The person they cheated on with, or the person that they're with?
The person that they're with. What do you think? Do you think somebody can come back from cheating?
Hey, welcome back to Black Press. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Now let's get to it.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
I'm your girl Trish.
I'm your boy, Mr. Define.
And we are
Black Press. So, oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah. If this is your first time watching, please remember to hit like, comment, share, and
subscribe.
Thank you for your support. We are glad to have you, and turn over to Mr. Define.
Yep. I know y'all might have noticed all of our faithful followers. Thank you for following us. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching us. We have been out the loop for like a week and a half. I'm a full-time student now, so final exams are up. And I had to pick one, so hopefully I get the A's that I worked for.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what we got first, Trish?
So first, we have... I'm blinking.
Okay, because we're behind, so
yeah,
we got some stuff we got to catch up on.
Yeah,
some stuff we got to talk about, because some of the stuff still needs to be talked about, even though
it's still relevant to this day.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
So, first thing was, you got ready for real?
I really did.
Congratulations are in order, right?
Yes.
Okay. The way you say it.
Congratulations. So this is alleged because we don't know for sure, but congratulations is due to Ashanti and Nelly.
Yeah, sure.
Before we go, y'all look at Sean, Miss Ashanti. Hold on, where that record at, baby? My boy partner in her hands. Oh, God. And I want everybody to peppermint. It's almost that time. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. But I want everybody, especially the women, I want to hear y'all say, seal the deal.
Seal the deal!
Seal the deal.
Seal the deal!
At this point in time, everybody's pretty much heard about that.
Yeah.
They're talking about seal the deal. What you got to say? I mean, you know how I'll be feeling.
I know. So, seal the deal.
But if he ain't sealed the deal before, why would he seal it now?
Yeah, you would think like they would get married and first, but since they know each other and they don't have to go through this whole long getting to know each other, courting each other. They're already like familiar with it.
And then they realize that they being separated and then back together. It's like, oh, I did actually like you. But then at the same time, why would he seal the deal? I mean, especially in this trend with everybody, Nick Cannon, what's his name? They got the Tennessee Titans dude, Cam Newton.
Oh yeah. It's
Nelly's got 2 adult children.
Everybody's cool with the baby mom title.
Yeah.
It's starting to become better not saying it's better, but it's more popular than wife.
Yeah. So you got a woman that had something to say about it, right?
Told y'all that there's somebody out there for everybody. and what one woman is not willing to accept, another woman is there with her hands out waiting for crumbs. That's exactly the situation that reminds me of this whole Nelly and Ashanti relationship, right? He was with that other woman for nearly a decade, and she went on that show and she said, I don't want to be just a baby mama. I want to be a wife. Like I want it to be love, marriage, baby, and in that order. And we don't know why they broke up, or at least I don't know why they broke up. And now he's rebounding with Ashanti, and let's just call it what it is. It's a rebound, sis. Like, it's a rebound. I hate to see Ashanti going out bad like this, because honestly, when I saw that she was pregnant, in my head, I said, yikes. Because already, sis, and why didn't you make him marry you? But this is a middle-aged man who did not marry the woman that he was engaged to for 7 years. And he's probably not going to marry Ashanti either. And if we're really keeping it a buck, probably the only reason that he's with Ashanti is because he's already middle-aged and he's nearing the end of his life. And he wants somebody to spend the rest of his life with, and he wants a kid. And Chantel was not going to give him a kid without marriage. A lot of Black women are too comfortable being the baby moms. Now, Chantel was like, I'm not going to be a baby mom. But Ashanti was like, oh, please, please love me. I'll be your baby mom. Girl.
I mean, I'm glad she said it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's an ultimate red flag for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. When a man is willing to allow you to have his child, and he is not willing to marry you. I mean, ultimately, if a man is willing to have sex with you and not use a condom, that's a red flag already.
Yeah. It just shows like he don't think she's good enough.
Yeah.
She's good enough to mother his children.
Exactly.
Raise it, but not good enough to carry the title as a wife.
Speaking of protection, Nick Cannon was on the Breakfast Club last week, and on that topic, he had some interesting things to say. And
none of my children came from a condom mishap. They were purposeful.
They were playing.
Oh, so you went raw on purpose?
Yes.
Oh,
Don't you go raw on purpose?
But I'm married.
Yes, as you should. But I'm saying, during those times, you go raw on purpose. I have never had unprotected sex with someone that I didn't intend to
be with.
Right. Like, I know if I'm having unprotected sex that this person could get pregnant.
Chris, the biggest point right there, that's what he said it right there. And that's why I say this is an ultimate red flag. For, like, I know people sometimes want us to talk just about relationships. Yeah. And we had some viewers like, just talk about, you know, what to look for in a man, what's the red flags. So I'll bring it out. A red flag for a man is, for one, he's in a relationship with you and he's willing to have sex with you without a condom.
Yeah.
Because he has decided that you are good enough for him to have his child with, but you're not good enough for him to marry, just like you said.
Yeah.
But when it comes to people, especially like Nick Cannon and Cam Newton and Deion Sanders, what it is the red flag is he does not view you as an actual partner. Not even a co-parent partner. Even though Nick Cannon says he co-parents with them. When a man is willing to have a child with a woman that he doesn't want to marry, he does not view her as a co-partner. He views her as a permanent nanny. Because now you can take care of my child when I can't be there, and then I can come in and just be dad when I have time and make time. I can make time, but still it's when I have time. And I just want you to make sure that you raise up my child.
So they're only good enough just for what they can offer, but not good enough for what you can offer to them besides your stuff.
Exactly. And not even that part. Because he can have, like he said, Nick Cannon just said he intentionally doesn't wear a condom when it's that time, when he feels like it's that time. I guess he's ovulating for another baby. So he don't wear a condom.
Mm-hmm.
So you are literally choosing her to be your next child's nanny. Because and you're paying her to be your nanny.
Well, I see where it can make sense, but it's not like they're watching all the kids. Oftentimes they don't even get
No, they're paying each individual woman to be their child's nanny. Because he's inseminated you and then chosen not to marry you. Therefore, you will take care of his offspring.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't actually have to maintain a consistent relationship like a marriage, which is hard as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And then
why you say it like that?
Because it is. I mean, it's hard to take two people that have lived as separate beings and put them in a same household together, especially when they both are fully capable of controlling their own household. Yeah. It's hard.
It is.
And
said that real strong.
Yeah, shout out to us. We're hitting our 1 year mark next week. 1 year married, and it's not easy, and it's not supposed to be easy.
Yeah, I mean, marriage is very challenging. And not only is it hard, it's challenging.
Yeah,
because it presents opportunities for you to grow, even when you're not ready to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times you get faced with obstacles where you have no choice to face it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it comes to like raising children and deciding when to have children.
Yeah.
Because all that stuff, it's like a reset button.
Mm-hmm.
You decide you want to have a kid.
And Nelly just reset for a whole another 18 years.
You decide you want to have a kid. Reset. Whatever you got planned.
But that's for the mother, for the nanny. Mm-hmm. But for the father, he can continue to do what he wants to do.
Unless he's obligated to.
I'm saying if it's not in a marriage.
Yeah.
In a wedding, in a marriage, yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's into that. He's fully bought in. But if not married, he can continue to do what he wants to do. His life doesn't change. Now you are a paid nanny. So that's red flag number one, willing to have. But the biggest reason why it's a red flag is because he had, well, for one, if they got money, he sees you as a nanny. Mm-hmm. If they don't have money, then he is not a person that makes choices that are thinking in the future, because he has chosen a woman that he has not chosen to marry, but he's chosen her to have unprotected sex with, knowing that he might not marry that person. So you're making a long-term decision for your immediate gratification. So he has poor long-term decision-making process. He also has poor decision-making because he's chosen to potentially have a partner that he has to partner with to raise that child when he has never even decided that he wants to marry that person. Because you don't even like her enough to marry her, but you're willing to have to be stuck in that co-parenting relationship for 18 years.
It's like signing a bad business deal.
Yeah.
A child is a 18-year, sometimes
it's an 18-year contract. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you doing that, on the opposite side though, and here's where women ain't gonna like it. If a woman is doing that, she is just as irresponsible in making decisions, because she is choosing to be at risk of getting pregnant and having an 18-year responsibility with someone who she has not chosen has not chosen. Well, if you ain't made him marry you before having a baby, then you have chosen not to marry him. You've chosen to have the baby without marrying him. So you're also not making good decisions.
Yeah.
And then
a lot of times, a lot of women think like that's a form of love.
Right. They're making poor decisions. They're not processing the idea of permanent choices versus circumstantial gratification.
Yeah.
So you want to gratify the love, but you're not realizing that you're making an actual decision. That's poor decision making skills.
Yeah.
And then the third thing is when they have multiple children. If a woman has multiple children with multiple partners, and a man has multiple children with multiple partners, they have a track record or a history of making poor decisions. And survey says that when somebody is making poor decisions, they're more likely to continue to make those poor decisions. That's why you have things called a credit score.
Yeah.
It's, are you making decisions on your finances correctly, or how much debt you have versus how much income you have? Are you paying those debts off? Are you paying down those loans? Are you doing all that consistently? So if we start looking at relationships like credit scores, then we can say, okay, you have had almost a bankruptcy with this woman. You had a bankruptcy with that woman,
Like,
and it don't last 7 years. It lasts 18. Almost. And then if you with them to 21, you got 3 times 7 years.
And sometimes, God forbid, but sometimes child is disabled, so
yeah,
you have the rest of your life.
So
decision.
You heard it from Mr. Define. If a man or a woman has children with someone that they have never been married to, and if they have multiple children that they have not been married to, they have poor decision-making skills, and then the multiple children, they have poor credit choices. You gotta evaluate them like it's their credit score. You have multiple bad decisions. Therefore, I need to take that into consideration before I decide to be in a relationship with you. The same way I'm gonna take it into consideration before I give you the loan to buy this car.
And speaking of relationships and deciding if you need to proceed, if it's wrong or right, we have Tamar, Tommy Lee, and Jeremy triangle. But it's not really necessarily a triangle because he was talking to Tommy Lee on the break.
Yeah.
While they were broken up.
Yeah.
But he didn't decide to proceed anything with Tommy Lee. He went back to Tamar. And that's causing a beef between the two ladies.
Yeah. But he says, as a man, I stand on being accountable. I never should have gone out with that lady. I never should have had conversations with her. I regret all of it. Should have never done that to Tamar. She is an amazing woman. I did some dumb-ish while I was single. I love her, and I'm glad I have my woman back. This too shall pass, and I'll spend the rest of my life protecting my queen. I had a debate with my my psychology professor on this. And for lack of time to continue the debate, I just let him have it because I'm like, okay, I don't want to take up everybody's classroom time.
Yeah.
But because it was a debate on if a man or if anybody cheats and then they realize that they love that person more than they thought, and that's the person they want to be with. He was like, that can happen. And I'm like, no, that's not learning. That's being selfish. It's obviously, we know it's 100% selfish to cheat on somebody because you've chosen to put that person's feelings at risk for your own gratification. But I don't think that a person can just realize that person was the person that they really love.
The person they cheated on with, or the person that they're with?
The person that they're with. What do you think? Do you think somebody can come back from cheating?
So this is very difficult. I think, so when people cheat, it's often, they attribute it to, it's the need that they're not being met or that's not being fulfilled, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that, it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't love that person, but you don't love that person enough to be truthful, honest, and faithful to them. So at the end of the day, do you even really love yourself when you do stuff like that?
I think you can love yourself and cheat on somebody.
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can love them and cheat on them. You can. Okay, if we talk about levels of love, yeah, you can love somebody at a low level.
Yeah.
But if you really love somebody, you're not going to do anything to hurt them. Exactly. So if you love them and you do something to hurt them, you don't really love them. You love yourself, and you love how they make you feel when you're with them.
You like them enough to almost love them.
Right?
That's it right there.
And you like them. You can like someone or you can love somebody not for who they are, but how they make you feel when you're with them. So I love me so much that I want to make myself happy, and I love the way that you make me feel when I'm with you. So when I say I love you, I just didn't put in being with you.
So
when I'm not with you, then I can love myself enough to go be with somebody else.
So it's like circumstantial love. So you can only love that person if they're with you. But if you're because it happens a lot in like the military world. Yeah. Like when they go on deployments and stuff, they're wild and free. And then when they come back home, it's their
we were just
docile.
talking about that at the Veterans Center today.
Yeah. I would love to hear that.
But it's true. But I'm saying I don't think you actually love that person. I think you love yourself enough to be with that person because you love the way they make you feel. I love being around you because you make me feel joyful. You boost up my self-esteem, and I love my self-esteem being boosted up. So I love being with you because you boost my self-esteem because I love me. So I don't love you enough not to hurt you. I love you. I love me enough to be with you when I'm not with anybody else.
So you just find another person to fix that.
And I don't say it in judgment because I used to be that way. Like my younger years, I was like that. Like I'd had a girlfriend, and every time I was away, I was doing crazy stuff. And then when I was back in town, because I was traveling a lot, I'm with you. Actually, no, it was reversed. Sorry, my bad. When I was out of town, I'd be on the phone with her. And when I was traveling, I'd be on the phone with her. But when I was in town, I was running around the streets of Atlanta.
It's crazy.
I know, right? And I thought that I loved her, but obviously I just loved myself enough to be with somebody that I thought made me feel good. So I really don't think you can love a person and cheat on them. Not the way you think you love them.
Yeah.
So when you want them back, it's not that you want them back because you want them. It's because you want them back for the feeling that they provide. Yep. Sometimes it's
very selfish and humanistic.
Yeah. Horrible. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
The people that cheat, the
people that cheat are not fully mature.
Yeah.
Bottom line, they're not mature in their own self-awareness. They're not mature in their own.
It doesn't mean they're bad people because I know, I wouldn't say like a person that cheat is like horrible, even though
it depends on how much they're cheating.
That too, because there's some people that do it like constantly over and over and over again. So,
like if you cheat and then you realize that was completely wrong and you don't like the way it makes you feel that you cheated on someone and you feel like you're a bad person, so you change who you are. That's good. When you feel like you cheated because they did this and that's why you did this, and then you realize that you wanted them back because they were about to leave you. That's not you feeling any remorse for what you did. That's you feeling remorseful that you got caught, and now you have to struggle to get that person back because you love the way that they make you feel.
And then you never get that feeling back.
No,
because once you get back with them, it's like, all right, you cheated, so I'm gonna stick it to you.
Yeah, but then does that person love themselves enough? That's another part. I want to go into this one, because that's a good lead in, because you taking that person back. It's like, okay, why
ready with me?
Back?
Wow, I expose eggs I've given myself. Up until I was around 15, I used to think that the best buy date on a gallon of milk was when you're supposed to open it. I didn't know that it actually meant that's when it expires. So up until 15 years of age, I used to only drink expired milk, and I thought that's how it was supposed to taste. I still hate milk to this day. When I was still in high school, I was so desperate for male validation and attention. I used to have a thing with this boy, and he used to call me the N-word, and I just let him. Not only did he call me the N-word, but he wanted me to call him my master as a term of endearment, and I did. He'll be like, "What's up, my little N-word," or "my little slave baby," and I'd be like, "Hey, master." Unsurprisingly, it turned out he never liked me, and I was just an inside joke between his friends. When I was in like first grade, we had this like behavioral method where it was green card, yellow card, and red card. Basically, based on how you acted for the day determined what card you got. And one day, I guess I was just being really talkative, and I got a red card. And when you get a red card, they call your parents. I was so distraught. I spent the entire last 20 minutes of class crying. And when my teacher asked me why I was crying so much, I said it's because my parents are going to beat me. The teacher didn't respond, and then for some reason, I had to stay after school, and I was like, okay, this is weird. My parents came and picked me up, and I was like, okay, maybe I just had a doctor's appointment, but they didn't talk to me the entire car ride, and I'm like, what is going on? We got home, and CPS was sitting in our living room. I once had an ex-boyfriend who treated me horribly throughout the entire relationship. He cheated on me, put his hands on me, used me, and just everything. I used to always wonder why we could never hang out at his place and he always had to come over to mine, but I didn't think to ask him. I was just happy to be there. One time we were at my house. He was taking a nap and I thought to go through his phone because I recently just forgave him for cheating on me. Not only did I find out he was still cheating on me, but he was also secretly homeless. I woke him up and I was crying, asking him, why didn't you tell me? Why would you do this to me? But when he tried to leave, I started crying even more and begging him not to leave me. He can work on this. I forgive him. And even said he could move in with me. He broke up with me anyways, looked me dead in my eyes, and told me I need to find some self-respect. My entire life has been humbling.
Wow.
I'll be hurt. I'm crushed for her, like secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah, that's insane, right? But for one, this really shows how these new generations are.
Yeah.
But for two, it still shows that we're just like the new generation is we do things differently.
It was the same.
Our mind, our thought process, the maturity levels, the self love is the same.
It is. And that dating world is wild.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, like, look at Tamar Braxton taking that dude back.
Yeah. And I'll tell a story. Don't judge me.
Right.
Don't judge me. This is during my single days.
Yeah.
So I was trying to give people a chance because, you have to give people chances. You can't judge people. So I dated somebody who was like a delivery driver, right?
Yeah.
So I was given a chance. So the only time I would talk to him, he would always sound like he was in like his car or something.
Yeah.
Right? And he said he had kids and everything, but I never hear kids in the background. I always hear him in the car. So I was like, that's a red flag. One.
That was the best sound.
Yeah. But I continued to talk to him, right? So I was talking, and then I was like, something was off. I was like, it doesn't feel right. It's not right. I've already saw one red flag, and then two, he's a delivery driver. He's too grown to be on that, in that phase of life.
How old you gotta be to be a delivery guy? UPS pays good money. I'll have you know. UPS pays good money.
It wasn't for UPS. It wasn't one of the top tier jobs. I was trying to give a chance, because people be like, you too picky and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Always have standards, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll just, give people opportunity.
Yeah.
To get to know me and stuff like that. But it was always a red flag. And then one day somebody called my phone and they speaking Spanish. And I know like a little bit of Spanish, I can pick it up here and there. Like, I was like, I'm sorry, you have the wrong number.
Yeah.
And I hung up, and then she called back, and then I was like, I said, I don't really understand you. I said, excuse me. like write me, text me. So she texted me and she was like, oh, you're talking to, you're breaking up a happy home. I was like, what? Not me.
Little home wrecker.
I was like, not me. But the long story short, it turns out he was married. He had kids. He had a wife. Ooh. I was like, but I cut that off beforehand. So I guess she must have went through his phone and found messages. And it never got to the point. Yeah. It never got to the point to where I met him or hang out with him or nothing. Cause he was showing too many red flags. So I wasn't going to meet him and be like, hey, we can hang out. Once you show a red flag, that's it for me. You get cut off. But I said I had to say this. Even though you're getting to know people and you're giving people chances, once you start seeing those red flags, you got to cut it off before because those red flags could catch up to you. Yeah. Like even though nothing happened and nothing proceeded from there, that could have been me putting myself in danger because he had a whole wife.
Yeah, she'd have been trying to. She'd have been doing more than a phone call.
But you know what I did? I said, ma'am, I don't know him. I said, I showed her the messages. I sent her the messages. He wanted to take me out. I said, he was about to take food off y'all's table. Yeah. I said, I didn't even go to that day. So I told her all of that. I gave her all the information, everything. I said, do with it as you want. Yeah. And then she thanked me and she was like, I'm sorry for calling you that. And she was like, yeah, you sound like a real respectable girl. And I was like, yeah. I was like, if anything and he tries to contact me, I'll let you know. And that was it. But she stayed with him, which is crazy.
Because she was like that young lady. Yeah. It's like, she doesn't, it's the self.
And I told her, I also told her, I said, love yourself enough. Exactly. To not put up and take that because I saw those red flags and I said to myself, I would never like overlook red flags just for the fact of being with someone.
So what about when somebody takes someone else back? You said love yourself enough. Yeah. But can that also, I think that could also be the reverse part of loving yourself so much that you'll be with somebody that makes you feel good when you're with them. Because you would prefer to feel good when that person's with you than to have nobody. Yeah. And be alone.
And that was their case because she stayed. And once you start seeing red flags, that's when it's time to go and check out because the more you start accepting them, then it's going to get worse and worse. And then you're going to be like, well, I accepted him for that, or her for that. So this is like minute.
I think the problem is we are not happy being alone. Yeah. Like a lot of people don't figure out how to be happy alone.
And that's important.
Yeah. That's like when you and I met, we met and then we didn't even talk to each other for months. Even though we're 3 doors down, but I was happy with where I was. Like for a moment, I felt like I needed to be with somebody, but then eventually I was just like, I got to be me. Yeah. Started writing my book, did a bunch of woodwork, fishing, camping, all this stuff. I enjoyed spending time to myself, almost to the point where I didn't want to spend no time with nobody else. But if you're not happy being you and just being you alone, then you'll be more willing to accept other people's red flags. Yeah, because you'd rather have a red flag than no flag at all.
Yep. And part of finding peace within yourself is like keeping yourself occupied.
Hobbies. People don't have hobbies anymore. It was like that thing we were watching, what they showed me, where somebody was like, I wish my parents had forced me to do sport because now I'm not good at anything and I don't have anything to take up my time. It's like, you have to find something that you enjoy so that when you're not with somebody, you can still enjoy being alone. Yeah. But a lot of people don't do that. especially now, like the most thing we find enjoyment in is
Being
watching
social.
somebody else's life
Yeah.
on social media. That's
gotta
what we
be
pass
okay
time
with-
with.
You got to be okay with being by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I like the lone walks and gardening and stuff. You just gotta
Mhm.
be your best friend.
Yeah. Ain't nobody else gonna like you if you don't like yourself.
Mhm.
If you can't enjoy being by your, if you can't enjoy being with yourself, ain't nobody gonna like you.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody else gonna enjoy it. Well, that's enough for this one.
Yeah. It is.
I guess one more congratulations and good luck to Shanti and Nelly. At least they're financially capable of giving that child the financial need.
Mhm.
But everything else, time will tell. Hope it works out though. I really
Yeah.
do.
Best wishes to them.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. We'll talk about that later. Look, like, comment. What do you think? What do you think about these relationships?
Yeah.
What do you think about red flags with people with children?
Mm-hmm.
People willing to have intercourse without protection, knowing that children are possible? What do you think about Nick Cannon? What do you think about self-esteem and self-love? And what else? Anything else?
Yes.
Comment, share this video with somebody, have a conversation about it. Like, comment,
Share and subscribe. And I also want to hear like your stories. Like if you have a story about a red flag, please put it in the comment section and let us know.
my biggest red flag, child without marriage.
Yeah.
Shows a choice pattern.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm your boy, Mr. Define.
Let me go twist. And
We are Black Press.
Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.